Hey, what's up? Peter Voogd here, and welcome to another episode of the 6 Months to Six Figures series, where I dive deep into the best-selling book 6 Months to Six Figures and kind of walk through each chapter and give you the tactical steps that can help you not just get the 6 figures in 6 months, but have the best 6 months you ever had. We're getting some great feedback. If you're watching this from YouTube, I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. I actually just met with my team a couple days ago about how to really take our YouTube to a whole new level. So thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, I would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss out. If you're listening on in your car from the YEL 2.0 podcast, I appreciate you for being loyal fans. And my number one focus is always to give as much real, relevant, tactical value as possible. So thanks again. Today we're going to talk about your most important account. We've talked about clarity. We've talked about the power of mastery versus overload and the power of becoming more valuable. By the way, if you haven't listened to the other ones, I would recommend going back to listen to the first couple videos because it's kind of a preference to this one, all right? So finally, when I got clear on what I wanted, when I got crystal clear on who I was and who I needed and my reasons for why I was doing what I was doing, I still didn't have the confidence. When you have goals and when you know where you're going, it doesn't mean confidence comes out of nowhere. Here's the reality. You have to build that confidence. It's like a muscle. And the scary thing about mental toughness and confidence is it's like watching grass grow, or it's like buying a bond. It doesn't happen right away. You cannot watch this video. You cannot read a book and all of a sudden you're confident. So it's those choices in the moment that compound that you make to where when you start making the tougher choices, life becomes easier. You see those people always making the easy choice, focusing on instant pleasure, their life's super tough, right? And what you have to realize, what I learned the hard way, is insecurities will destroy you, while confidence will take you to a level few ever attain. So I want to dive into how I kind of figured this out. As far as the steps in this chapter. So I realized that I was always making the easy decision. Should I sleep in or should I wake up early? Should I hit the alarm or should I wake up and work out? Should I eat that salad or the cheeseburger? Should I go out Friday night and party to escape reality or should I work on my goals? Should I listen to music or a personal growth audio? And I was always making the easy decision, and I was kind of trying to figure out why I was where I was. When I was broke, I was obsessed with figuring out why. I was working hard, I was working a lot of hours, but the reality is it's not about the hours you work, it's what you put in the hours and the mindset that you have while you're working, right? So the most important account is not your bank account. That's what you have to understand. People think it's your bank account. It's not. It is your confidence account. Everybody has something inside them called a confidence account. And based on everything they've accomplished up to this point is the result of that account. And I bet you can't name one elite performer or visionary or someone you respect and look up to who doesn't have certainty and confidence. So where does this confidence come from? That was my mission, was to figure out not just where does it come from, but how do I get it so I can actually execute on these goals and this vision that I have, because anyone can have a vision. Anyone can talk about what they're going to do. Anyone can set forth plans. But why, when you fast forward, 95% don't hit those? Because the confidence doesn't match up. If you have level 10 goals and you want level 10 income, but your confidence is level 4, you're going to live incongruently and be stressed out. And when you're stressed out, you're not as resourceful, right? So I was sitting there with these big goals, but I didn't have the confidence. So obviously you got to get around confident people, but let me kind of talk about where confidence comes from. It comes from self-esteem, and self-esteem comes from doing the things you know you should do when you know you should do them, whether you feel like it or not. Until you value yourself, you're not going to value your time, and until you value your time, you won't do anything with it. Right? Confidence in yourself, in your abilities, in your decision-making process are crucial for achievement. How you respond to challenges is crucial on what the next steps are for you. And most people are looking for outside circumstances to give them confidence, but the reality is it's who you're becoming. And in this new economy, there's no more job security. People are losing jobs left and right. In the next 5-10 years, I think 70-something% of the workforce will be wiped out and be replaced by technology and robots. So you're going to have to figure out how to be self-sufficient and develop confidence. Now, this was a couple years ago that this was written, but it's more evident today than ever before. Okay, so you can't look for outside circumstances. And one of the things that I realized was when you start learning how to value yourself, you start valuing your time. And I was always blaming external circumstances. When I was stressed out, I wasn't taking responsibility for my business. So I said things like, I don't have the time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough experience, I didn't get enough training, I don't have the right people, I don't have the right technology, I'm from a small town, I'm too young, I don't like my manager, I don't have the right resources. And I've personally seen these exact excuses ruin people's businesses, relationships, and bank accounts. And the majority of people will say, I don't have enough resources. And this lack of resource belief structure holds most people back. When I realized that it was the emotions that would make me resourceful to figure things out, that's when the game was over for me. That's when I totally shifted my perspective, right? If you want to build a world-class life, you have to find a way to maximize whatever resources you have, as little as they may be. You don't want to believe that there's no resources around you. So let me give you an example. First, resources are the ultimate resource, right? Being resourceful is the ultimate resource. If you don't have the money, if you don't have the time, but you have to figure out a way to make it work for your family, you're going to make something work. So the ultimate resource is internal emotions that make you take action. Confidence, vision, creativity, courage, determination, ambition, hunger, drive, commitment, right? Those are the ultimate resources. So if you don't have the money, but you're creative enough, you're going to find the money. With enough determination and commitment, you can make anything happen as well, right? So that's the huge key that I talk about. And one of the biggest things for me, this is chapter 4 or 5, I believe. We also talked about money mattered and kind of how my money mindset changed, because what we're taught in society is the exact opposite of what we should be taught, that actually helps you not just make money, but protect it and compound it. So we talked about making money, the money mindset, clarity, and now the most confidence account, or the most important account. So one of the biggest things, and I'm not going to read this, but you can see I really dive deep into this. One of the biggest things was the decision train. For me, that helped my confidence. So I'm going to kind of explain this. So most people, 95% of people who struggle, who are frustrated, who are discouraged, they base everything off feelings, moods, emotions. And if they don't feel like doing something, they don't do it. So let's take working out or going to the gym as an example, because health is a big, big key of mine, energy-wise, because when you have more energy and you have a clear mind, you're more focused, right? And you're more resourceful. Most people make every decision based off their feelings. So it's called the decision train. I walk through and I give an actual illustration and a diagram of exactly what this is. 95% of people who are stressed, frustrated, discouraged, lack resources, they don't have money, things like that. They base everything off feelings. If they don't feel like working out, they don't work out. So their decision is, I'm not going to work out today. I don't feel like it. Now, if you flip it, 95% of people use feelings and emotions, and moods are killing people these days. Moods are killing people because you got to realize you're not always going to be in a good mood, but your job as a human being is to produce and be consistent and make sure you create, right? Whether you feel like it or not. If you only do what you feel like, you're not going to do very much. So flip it. Successful people start the other way. They just decide they're going to do something, and they take the action whether they feel like it or not. And the feelings are at the end, not the beginning. Now, how does someone feel when they make the tough decision and they actually work out when they don't feel like it? They feel amazing. So for me, I flipped that. I was doing everything based off my moods and emotions, and it was causing me to be extremely depressed and stressed out. And when I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm not healthy anymore. I'm this. I got to make a decision. So whether you feel like it or not, you're going to make the right decision if you're in an intelligent state of mind. So in the morning, as I'm getting up, I still don't feel like working out all the time. But on my way to the gym, I feel a little bit more like it. So as I'm going to the gym, I don't feel like working out. As I'm walking in the gym, I don't feel like working out. But once I start and I get that action going, the motivation follows. And at the end of it, I feel amazing. So here's the key for confidence. Get addicted to the feeling of completion. Get addicted to the feeling of finishing something you didn't feel like doing to begin with. That's one of the biggest ways to build your self-esteem, is to do what you say you're going to do, whether you feel like it or not. So this decision train changed my whole life. And I promise you, if you know someone that's doing things strictly based off mood and not intelligence, they're usually going to be stressed out and frustrated and not have the results they want, right? Now, I'll be the first to admit, I don't always do this perfectly. I still base certain things off feelings. But if you start understanding the power that motivation comes from action, you're not going to find motivation sitting down on the couch. I don't always feel like doing these videos. Now, I do love doing this because I love giving content that adds value. I love that the top 5% of people that are serious about success actually execute this and are watching this. So I appreciate you guys. But even if I didn't feel like this and I pressed record, I'd be in game mode, right? So sometimes you just got to take the action, and through that action, you'll figure out what to do next, right? So let me give you my top things besides the decision train that help my confidence that I talk about in the book. First thing is choices. Every choice you make helps or hurts your confidence. So you can't be careless here. The choices you make you. So from this moment forward, you have to ask yourself, will this choice help or hurt my confidence? This was a game changer for me back in the day because I realized almost every decision I made was hurting my confidence but making me more comfortable in the moment. And that comfort zone is going to kill you, right? The person with the most confidence always wins. And nobody wants to be around an insecure entrepreneur or an insecure father, mother, leader, right? Successful people make choices based on what's best for them, what's best for their future, what's best for the people around them and the people they impact, not what makes them feel good in the moment, right? It's in the moments of your decisions where your future is shaped or torn down, right? So what choices can you start making today that will increase your confidence account? Second thing is challenges. The bigger the goals, the bigger the challenges. The moment you set a goal that's bigger than average, you're going to have challenges and you're going to be tested to see if you really deserve that goal. Because if you didn't and it was easy, it wouldn't be worth much and everyone would be doing them. So how you respond to challenges and how you respond to problems and how big your problems are determine your confidence. So think about this. Everyone has problems. Just successful people have bigger problems, right? And more important problems. So it's interesting when you think about it. Like a lot of times, a broke person's problems are they have no money. A rich person, their problems are also money related, right? If someone doesn't have a family, it's like, I don't have a family, that's a problem. Sometimes if you have a family, your problem is your family, right? So you're not going to, the only people with no problems are people in cemeteries, okay? Everyone has problems, but it's how you deal with them. It's how you adapt and adjust to what happens next. If you let that problem or challenge define you and you let up and you maybe let that failure get to you, your confidence goes down. So most people approach challenges with the wrong perspective. And in turn, once they find themselves in a challenge, okay, they let it lower their confidence. When actually going through a challenge should increase your confidence, okay? That's a huge one for me. So what challenges have you gone through that have made you stronger and sharpened your perspective? I remember watching, I'm obsessed with documentaries of people that have came from nothing and reached greatness. Eminem's one of my favorites. And he said in a documentary, he was so ashamed of his past. He was ashamed of his family. He was ashamed of his mom's drug problem. He was ashamed of where he came from. And once he dropped that need to get approval and dropped the need to be liked, and once he said, this was his quote, the moment I used my adversity to my advantage, my career exploded. So you have to somewhat be vulnerable and sometimes share the struggles and how you're dealing with those. Document your journey as well, right? Next thing is consistency. Consistency is all about character. Can you do what you say you're going to do? The two scariest things I think in life right now are momentum and lack of momentum. And the only way to build momentum is consistency. So in society, consistency will give you a massive competitive advantage and will keep momentum on your side. More importantly, consistency will increase your confidence, right? So what 3 areas of your life require more consistency from you right now? Why do you want to be consistent in those areas? Think about this. Whatever you are now, you're 10 times more of that in the future. If someone lacks consistency now, it doesn't get easier. Habits trump inspiration and habits trump intelligence. So if you're not consistent now, you're going to be way less consistent in the future unless you change what you put in your mind, you block those bad habits, or you get around a good set of people that have more consistency so you can they can rub off on you, right? Now, here's the scary thing. Where do you want to be more consistent? Remember, reasons come first, results come second. So you have to figure out now, what are the reasons of why? And then what would your life look like in the next 6 months if you stayed massively consistent? And what would your life look like if you actually kept the inconsistency? Think about this. Remember, this is all correlated to confidence. And then the next thing is just deliberate practice and repetition. Mastering your craft. As a business person, you have to practice. As a speaker, you have to practice. As a musician, as an artist, as an architect, as a mother, as a father, as a teacher, right? As an athlete, you have to practice. The more you practice, the only reason I did a new mixtape track that's not out yet. It's going to be called Built for This. And I was talking about being in Dubai, speaking at the Atlantis in front of 3,000 entrepreneurs. There was princes, there was kings, there was all kinds of very powerful and influential people, a couple billionaires in the crowd. But I was the least nervous I've ever been. I was cool, I was ready. And this was pressure because I was the keynote speaker at one of the biggest events in the Middle East in a culture I'd never been to. But I was ready, and I in a humble way, I did well. I felt good about my speech. I feel like I killed it. I got some great feedback. And I started thinking about how I felt that way. And it was because I prepared more than ever. The only reason anxiety creates pressure or pressure creates anxiety is if you haven't prepared enough. So start preparing more as well. So what's one action you've been putting off that could change the game for you right now as well? And then a couple more that I'll walk through, and then we'll kind of end this and get some Q&A going in the bottom or in the chat. But don't fear people. Stay fearless in everything you do. The more you fear what people think about you, and the more you compare yourself to others, the more frustrated and discouraged, and the more it will kill your confidence. Stop fearing people. Trying to get everybody to like you is the most common road to mediocrity. So the only person you should compare yourself to is who you were the day before. Comparison is the ultimate misery. Stop scrolling on your phone. Stop looking at everyone else's life and start maximizing your own and start betting on yourself. That will increase your confidence. Comparison destroys confidence. And just get around confident people. That's a big key, which we'll talk about circle of influence in the next chapter, so I'm not going to hit on that. But the best thing for me that happened was, yes, I got around the right people. Yes, I got clarity. Yes, I focused on mastery versus overload. Yes, I made sure that I knew how to become more valuable. But when I actually started getting results, that's the ultimate confident booster. When you see results from consistency, from doing what you say you're going to do, from getting around the right people, from personal growth and knowing yourself, that's the ultimate confidence, is getting around the right people and seeing real results, right? So let me know below, what's one thing you've done to increase your confidence? Let's get some value below. I'd love to have you guys share. I'll be in the comments commenting. Let's get some value. Here's what I'm going to do on this video. Best comment or comment that I feel is inspiring or that helps other people, because we're all about value here, I'll send you a free book signed. I'll personally sign your name, and I'll sign it for you and send it out. So comment below, what's one thing you've done to increase your confidence, and maybe any tips or guidance you have for other people that want to increase their confidence. I challenge you to really think about this, because it could change the game for you, because the person with the most confidence always wins. And here's the scariest part of this. If you don't have confidence, if you don't develop a bulletproof mindset, you will always find a way to lose. No matter how much success or opportunity comes your way, you will find a way to mess it up if you really don't have inner confidence that's connected to a purpose and a vision bigger than just you. That's why this is so crucial. So thanks again. I'm excited for you guys to continue diving into this book and getting value. And let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to hearing your biggest breakthroughs below, and we'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.